Yeah, no. I wouldn't give it anywhere close to that. I would be hard pressed to give it Game of the 6 months. But it is a fun
I
little
fucking
diversion.
love it. I absolutely adore it. Like I can get lost in it for so long.
All right, guys. Well, as always, I like to just start shit in the middle of a conversation, so there's not that awkward intro. But welcome,
That's just
everybody.
revenge.
Yes, it is. Especially Jared knows the best about that with his with what he did to me with some class a
I
donger
got you
move.
good.
He did. But yeah, we have so we have our after show today. Today where it's the me versus Lord Stephen Christ Mercury after show, which fuck guys. I'm gonna tell you something, man. That guy was frustrating me. That's why I just finally stopped it and was like, look here. You gave like goddamn 10 fucking proofs at the very beginning without any evidence. It's not a claim.
Now, as somebody who's dealt with LSC for years, I got to say that he's got the tattoo in the wrong spot. Because that big chest tattoo he showed off is the Lord Stephen Christ symbol. And he demands all of his followers get that somewhere on their body. Because, that's how he enters their spirit. He touches their spirit. So I figured he's got it in the wrong spot. He needs to have actually tattooed that around his anus. So when he fucks him
Right.
over, it's more
In the
appropriate.
inside of his mouth. On the inside of his mouth.
So, I mean, what is the actual deal with LSC? Does he genuinely think he's a god?
No,
Before he went nuts, people thought he was just trolling everybody. But since he got locked up in a funny farm, which he's still there, he might just be legitimately crazy.
But how can someone like that end up having followers that are? I mean, this guy was
Does
on the
David
level
Koresh
of,
ring a bell?
a cult.
Does David Koresh ring a bell?
insanity loves company.
How about
I mean,
how about Manson? Does that ring a bell?
yeah.
Charles Manson. He's along those lines.
And he's
I mean, you guys
what's his whole deal? He threatened the president. He threatened to kill Obama.
Two
I
of
believe.
them.
Yeah,
Two of
Obama
them.
and Trump, or just Obama and someone
Obama and
before
Trump.
Obama? Obama and Trump.
Yeah,
Finally locked
he
his bitch
wanted.
ass up.
Well, so he went to jail for a short stint when he threatened Obama, but when he threatened Trump, they saw the pattern of behavior and looked at what he was doing in between and were like, oh, no. He can't go to jail. He needs to go to the happy home.
Yeah, and Radical asks, wait, so he does have mental issues? Why was he even considered for debate? We're not talking about the Lord Stephen Christ Mercury guy. He follows another guy called Lord Stephen Christ. That's the guy that we're saying has got the mental
Right.
Yeah.
the mental problems here.
Yeah, Lord
I
Stephen
mean,
Christ is the head. Mercury is the lemming.
Yeah. I mean, I knew how crazy Lord Stephen Christ is, but when
His followers are
came
just
up against the Mercury in the Four Corners debates, he didn't seem quite as crazy as that. And if
Well, because
I knew
he was
that
buffered by other stupid.
yeah, I don't know if I would have let him on the channel if I knew quite how crazy he was, because although that was some glorious
This is why the
dumpster fire.
newbies to the scene need to talk to the elders of the scene.
And
Could have warned you.
And I do believe that he probably does have mental issues. I mean, if he's following another man, calling him the Lord, yeah, he's got mental issues. But I'm not sure if they would. What would you even classify that as? You're just fucking stupid. You're so stupid it should be considered a mental disease.
Well, that's the thing. Like, so many flat earthers and anti-intellectuals in general. I mean, you could classify so many of them as having a mental illness. Like, is the flat Earth thing in general? Is it just a fucking mental illness? But I'm
Depends
still
on
gonna
the person.
laugh and point at how stupid they are. But there does come a point where I had to shut that down because it wasn't going to go anywhere else, and it got to a point where we were just letting this crazy man shout on my channel.
Well, you give it that much credit.
I mean, he was. That's what it came down to. Was
Crazy
just
boy.
yeah. William Signs.
He wasn't shouting. We couldn't hear him. So.
Oh yeah. William Signs, perfect. Is the fanaticism. Yes, that's definition of fanaticism right there. He's a fanatic.
Yes.
Now, could you consider fanaticism a mental disease?
It can be. It definitely can be. It
Yeah.
depends on to what extent you actually really go with it. And that's actually where a lot of people will try to compare it to, say, the fandom of, say, a sports team, where fan is actually short for fanatic. Now, going to full-blown fanaticism like this, there is such a difference in the type of behavior that it ends up resulting in. That's where it crosses the line. It's not just that devotion to it, it's what they do with the devotion.
Yeah. Well, that guy, Nayland, I believe his name is, he's a nutter. He's an absolute crazy house. He needs to be locked up, I think. I mean, he just fucking started flipping out when I just like refuted the claim. It wasn't even as if I was trying to trigger him. I was just refuting the claim.
He didn't want to listen. He just wanted to rant, and his rants went on for so long that there wasn't even like a natural pause to them. I was actually quite impressed with the endurance of some of his rants.
I'm just.
Right.
I actually think that Lord Stephen Christ might have some kind of miracle power because all of his followers, they can talk without ever breathing. So I'm not sure where they're getting their oxygen from, but it sure ain't their lungs.
Well, Sean, you're also forgetting that because of what they lack between their ears, you're not going to get the signs of oxygen deprivation.
This is true. Okay.
Luchin Andrew says fanaticism is a skill in Diablo 2. It's also, I believe you can also have fanatics in Civilization 4 and 5, and I think you can have those there. So, but I'm not sure. I think they're good guys sometimes bad guys.
But I will say this, speaking of LSE and powers, I do kind of miss them because it's been a while since I've had a good curse give me something phenomenal in my life.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Jared was telling us earlier that there's been two or three times that Lord Stephen Christ has officially cursed you.
Yes, there were 3 separate occasions where Lord Stephen Christ said that he was going to curse my existence. The first time it happened, a few days later, I get a phone call with a job offer for a company starting at almost $30 an hour. At which point, I didn't think anything of it. Then he curses me again, and I end up repairing the relationship with my then girlfriend, who LSE then cursed me a third time, and shortly thereafter is when that girlfriend then became my wife.
Well, my question is, if Lord Stephen Christ is God, why hasn't he miracled himself out of the funny farm yet?
I know.
Because that's where God, that's where his father wants him to be.
Apparently,
he is God.
Actually, like with Lord Stephen Christ, when the CIA tried to arrest him, and he's been like arrested on CIA charges and stuff as well. I think he is just as crazy as fucking Lord Stephen Christ.
Tonight was evidence. You guys listen. Y'all know that my berating of flat earthers is mostly for comedy in my shows. My live streams, I actually try to have the conversation with them. I want to have the conversation with them because I want to prove them wrong. I want them to see that they are not right with what they're saying and how I know they're not right. So I try to have that conversation with them. I tried to have the conversation with that guy. He's the one that derailed that conversation, and sucks, man. Could have been a good conversation. I could have taught that little kid a lot of things.
It was certainly something to behold.
But yeah, he was nuts. Go ahead, Jared.
I think that's what I find the most disheartening about a lot of it is you'll come across someone who has the potential to actually learn and do better, and instead they will quite literally stick their fingers in their ears and yell at you just so they don't have to listen.
Mhm. Yeah.
Though
Now,
I will say, his ego and the way that it showed when you had him muted and he was still going off responding to you. Granted, we couldn't hear a damn word that he had to say, but it was
I don't
funny
think we
as
needed
fuck.
to. Yeah. Honestly, that is just episode 34 of Full Retard Mode. Just play that. Just whatever that was, just play that, and that's your episode.
that was the easiest full retard mode that he's ever had to make. Just play that debate. All right, so
Yeah.
I wrote down some of his claims, though. Okay. He says there were aqueducts underwater or underground for the expanding
Or in
Earth.
the sky.
Yeah, and in the sky. Yeah, and in the sky. I believe he said they were above and below. Which, yeah, we know this. We know that there's underground water ducts. That's nothing new. Perfectly explainable on the globe Earth as well. The electrostatic barrier for lightning. Like, you know what he's talking about, right, Jared? He's talking about two capacitance plates.
Yeah,
Basically,
he's
go ahead.
trying to get down towards the Casimir effect.
Well,
And how it well there is that bit to it where you get down to a certain level and depending on the potential it will jump the air gap, and that's what helps control things. No, you fucking dumbass.
yeah,
I'm
well,
about I'm about 3 sheets to the wind, and it's like, oh, you want to play with electronics and electricity? Come be a guinea pig for a product that Look-a-Pig is working on.
oh, it's just like I'll tell the story all the time because I don't want people to get electrocuted of the guy that was trying to discharge the capacitors on a radar, and you don't do that if you don't use the right equipment. And there was like a little sheath that covers the top of your hand so that you can safely discharge it without getting arced. And he reached on the other side of that sheath, and sure enough, a fucking arc jumped and hit him. And there was no medium to travel through, just the air. That's all it takes is a difference in fucking potential, and it will find that the path of least resistance to your body and through your body to ground.
And there is a reason why the required personal protective equipment for the job I had prior to the one I'm in now I had to wear a 12 kcal rated flash suit and hood with triple layer gloves just to be near the equipment when a panel was open for testing purposes. Because guess what? Arc flashes, they can do some damage.
Right? Hey, what is going on with Fight the Flat Earth right now?
He's got his
See,
dumpster fire
It's
going.
just dumpster fire.
Dumpster fire time. Yes, we had a dumpster fire earlier on Fight the Flat Earth channel, so be sure to go check that out. Didn't really get
my
the
God,
debate that I wanted to have. Fight the Flat Earth, you got some, Dad?
No. Yeah, I mean, I knew that it was going to be crazy. Someone actually contacted me beforehand, Mr. Sensible, and kind of said that this guy is actually mental. It's going to be
I
crazy.
really wish you would have talked
So
to me first.
I expected there to be some kind of, dumpster fire, but I didn't expect whatever just happened to happen. I mean, there was no way I could have even moderated it beyond just muting him and letting him scream himself out.
Yeah.
It was.
Sean, what were we going to say?
I just said I really wish you would have, asked me about Lord Stephen Christ and his followers beforehand, because I could have gave you ample warning.
I knew it would
talk
be
to the veterans.
special. Yeah, like I said, I knew it would be special, but wow.
Special education with that guy, man. Fuck. There's not, like, He just threw so much. I mean, let's go over some of the other points. The ether versus relativity, that's a joke, man. We actually
didn't
are
even
at a
expound on
point.
what he was talking about.
I know, he said, I didn't say that that's a straw man. I was like, no, you literally just said that there was like an ether, that ether was relativity. What I said was ether versus relativity, like the two concepts, they're two competing concepts really in science. One is gone because there are scientists that still want to prove that there is an ether that affects the speed of light and other things. And Einstein himself said, well, first off, in his earlier calculations, he had what was called an ether frame. It was a portion of a calculation that was irrelevant. It didn't matter. It what became special relativity because they soon found out there is no ether, therefore there is no need for an ether frame. Now, if they find out there is an ether, special relativity is no longer needed because then light just travels different speeds in different directions against the drag of the ether. So that's when I was bringing that up to him, I just wanted him to expand on that, and he was like, "No, that was that's you're straw manning me. You're whatever." No, I'm not straw manning you. You just said ether is relativity, and he goes, "No, I didn't." And I said, "Okay, well, explain." He goes, "Well, ether is relativity." You just fucking said that. I just told you that was what I was saying. Is that you said this, and you said, "No, I didn't say that." You did. So.
He didn't understand the Coriolis effect at all, did he?
No, I still don't think he understands the fucking Coriolis effect.
No, I mean, what was he trying to say that it was? It was literally to do with the drop away from Earth that you would encounter.
Well, okay, so one thing we don't talk about for the Coriolis effect, and this is actually something that's legit. Okay. So let's say you have a distance to a target and you know the velocity of the bullet and you know how fast it's going to reach the target. All right. So you're carrying along your initial linear momentum. You fire the bullet. So the bullet travels at the speed of the Earth, relative to a stationary frame, let's say. The speed of the Earth rotating plus the speed of the bullet. Okay. But so is the target. The target's also traveling away at the speed of the rotation of the Earth. So relative to you two, you only have the distance the bullet has to travel and the time, but what does change is when you first shoot the bullet off, you're in a different orientation. That target has then reached a different orientation. So while it doesn't actually move away from you because you're both traveling at the same relative speed on the surface of the Earth, what ends up happening is the target actually drops. Like as it goes away, it starts here and it drops away. So you will have, the bullet will appear to rise up slightly, but it's not 8 inches per mile squared like he said. It's based on how fast the bullet is traveling and what latitude you're on and a few other things. I mean, that's why I was like, you don't understand what you're saying about that. It doesn't work. And then in the West, because when you fire backwards, right, the target raises up, so to you it will appear as if the bullet drops down because of the Coriolis effect. But that's not what we normally talk about when we describe Coriolis, because we're more trying to describe the fictitious force. See, in those instances, it appears as if gravity is, there's a force counteracting gravity in one direction and then increasing gravity in the other direction. But then we know from an outside stationary reference frame that it's not gravity acting different in one way versus the other. It's actually the fact that it's a rotating reference frame.
Right. Okay. So it's almost as though he's heard one bit of that described and then just latched onto that without actually understanding anything else around it.
Yes. And then he talked about the gravitational lensing being just lensing from the dome. Well, let's see. If we look out and we see gravitational lensing in one part of the sky and we say, well, that's due to the dome, what does that mean? I'll let you try it, Sean. What does that mean by definition? What else should we be seeing?
Oh God! Depends on where you're at, where the light's from. If you're talking about a transparent kind of thing, then you won't get star as points. You'll get them as lines.
Well, that's one thing. Yes. The other thing would be that you would see gravitational lensing everywhere, because everywhere you're looking is, guess what? Through a fucking glass thing. Everything you look at would be lensed. You wouldn't see lensing in one spot where we assume there's a dense amount of mass. You would see it everywhere because it's not a dense amount of mass that's causing the gravitational lensing. It's actually the lensing from the glass dome that he said was overhead, which I still don't understand how that works if we're all in a big giant bowl, which is
Okay.
basically
This goes back to the people who are new to this whole debate thing about the shape of the Earth. The cellular theory, which is what Lord Stephen Christ came up with, is that you have the center of the universe, which is God's mind. Then around that is a celestial sphere. Outside of that is our atmosphere and us. So all light sources are coming from inside the celestial crystal sphere. And then light actually cones from there outwards until it gets to the ground, and then it starts curving back up towards the celestial sphere again, which is how he tries to explain things disappearing bottom up.
Yeah,
It doesn't explain in any retrospect of the equinox issue. His only answer was the light bends, but he hasn't really thought that through, because if the sun is a
Right.
source of light and it's bending out in all directions like an upside down cone, it's going to still look like it's coming from a different direction than east or west.
it has to bend after it leaves the lens. It has to come down and then bend so that everybody sees it 90 degrees perpendicular to due north.
Right.
I don't buy that bullshit.
He hasn't thought that part out yet.
Yeah, and so another way to think of it from a visual standpoint, with those necessitated barriers, it is the Russian nesting doll of propositions for the shape of the Earth.
Everybody ever think what's on the mind of the very inner Russian nesting doll?
No.
What the fuck am I doing in here?
What am I doing? When will I get out? And why do they keep putting me back in my mama's belly?
Oh.
Yeah, it's funny because Lord Stephen Christ actually acknowledges satellites like Himari-8, but he says that that NASA actually landed them through cracks in the celestial sphere, so they're sitting on the inside or the inside edge of the outside of the sphere, and it's just sitting there on this glass crystal thing,
Oh my god.
and that's how it's staying in a geostationary quote unquote orbit.
Okay, so let me cover a couple of super chats that came in. Steven Steen, 199. Is that Chicken Jared I hear? Ooh, Chicken Noodle Jared coming hard. And then Aussie Globehead, 50.
Can I be tomato soup, Sean?
I thought it was minestrone.
No, I don't like minestrone.
And then Aussie Globehead, 50 Aussie dollars. NASA said we can 1100111111 next week. Why do we have to wait so long, Aussie? I want to do this now.
That's rude.
Right?
Some people think I only deal with
You
flat
can't
Earth.
put
I
that
deal
kind of
with
thing
all
in the
kinds of
chat. You're going to
stupid.
get demonetized.
Curtis Reynolds for $10. Thank God it's over. I bailed out 2 minutes into Steven's opening remarks. I can't take any more of these hour-long debates. It's like a senior physics professor debating Einstein with a 5-year-old. You're right. I agree with you, Curtis, 100%. I mean, it's fun. Okay, it's fun. Let's all talk about it. It's fun to have these idiots on. It's fun to listen to them. But then there's times when it's just not fun. And when you tell somebody, let's debate something, let's have a discussion about something, that generally means that two people are going to engage in a civil discussion. Not one person's going to sit there and scream at the other person because the other person doesn't just buy the bullshit that they're trying to sell. Sorry, I'm not into bullshit as much as you guys are. Not you guys. Like the people debating. I'm not into like Lord Stephen Christ and Pharaoh and all those people. I'm not into that as much as they are. So to me, it's like they don't want to have that conversation because you're just going to prove them wrong. They're there because they just believe it so much. They want to tell everybody how we're all stupid. We just don't get it. We're the ones that don't get it. Fair enough. But you're the ones that are sitting on the outside of society and you're 1 to 1,000. and you're consistently being proven wrong every single day by people like me and Sean and Jared and FTFE and Reds and everybody. You know, we're all fucking debunking you guys regularly, and you just don't get it. And guess what? It's not our fault, and it's not our problem. Go back to school, take an online science degree, learn about the basic principles that
Well,
prove
no,
that all this.
wait, whoa.
You are not.
Whoa.
You are not advocating creation of more
JM
GM
Truth did
truths.
that.
Well, no, okay, no, listen, you can, well, okay, not a degree, I'm saying like watch, you can go learn a lot of stuff if you just take the time to study without having to go to a full 4-year college. Now, can you...
Legitimate online science courses. Take those. Not what JM Truth did.
Yeah.
Legitimate courses.
So, okay, so look, I took an online course, but no, I didn't take the course. I just watched the lectures from Stanford for talking about quantum mechanics with Leonard Susskind. Now, Leonard Susskind knows what the fuck he's talking about. He's one of the top professors in the world when it comes to astrophysics and whatnot. So, I can't go and speak from authority just because I watched that lecture. I wasn't there to ask questions. That obviously it's quantum mechanics. There's questions that need to be asked and answered. Those are, reserved for the students who pay for the course. For me, I just got that little bit that I could get from that by watching it and taking the time to learn it, So you can do that, but that's also, I wouldn't just I wouldn't just encourage somebody to watch a video online and then go, yes, I'm an expert in that because I saw this video online. That's not right.
Or get a degree in making pamphlets and claim that you're a master's of science.
Oh, yeah.
Don't do that either.
Yeah. That's funny though. I don't I'm pretty sure that in his head he thinks that he's a scientist because he has a master's of science in information distribution and teaching.
He thinks he's a science for the same reason he thinks he's a scientist for the same reason he thinks he's a physicist, because he thinks he does science.
That was one of the
most. He is a scientist.
That was probably one of the funniest moments I've ever heard him say, or funniest things I've ever heard him say, was when he was like, "I'm a physicist. Nathan Thompson's a physicist.
Yeah.
We practice physics. We study physics." And I'm like, "No, that's not the definition of a physicist. I'm not a physicist, and I have a better grasp of physics than you guys do, but I'm not a physicist. How is that possible?" All right, we got a couple more super chats. $5 from MA2 Fletcher Eisler. Club Donger. What's up, bro? When I want to feel smart, I listen to a flat earther. Yeah, that's great. And now you can add concave earther to that. And then Treadhead 1945, $20. Thank you, sir. What life choices led me to this? Says says the innermost it says the innermost Russian doll. Yes. And then we also have a new member, Space for Everyone. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. If you're out there in the chat, share your dingers with him so that way make him feel at home.
Don't share your dingers, people.
Whoa, wait.
Please.
Wrong type of website there, team.
Oh, yeah. I forgot we're not live streaming on Pornhub, right?
Well, I am.
Oh, great. Get me demonetized. Thanks.
Yeah.
That was so funny, Sean. After we talked about it, right, my JM Truth video got demonetized after we talked about it. I was like telling you guys that nothing. And the funnier thing about that is I forgot to put the original source video in, right? So it went a full day of being monetized, but the moment that I added one of JM Truth, that I added his original source link, and that was the only thing that changed, demonetized.
Which actually reminds me.
I think you're looking at coincidence as a cause and effect thing. Because videos are automatically demonetized. That might come after a advertiser says, yeah, no, and then you're just automatically flagged as demonetized for that video. Or it's gotten complaints from people that can demonetize things if they get the right kinds of complaints that are actually sort of legitimate.
That debate that I've just had is already demonetized.
Most live streams automatically get demonetized, and it's depending on how long it takes for them to get remonetized. Sometimes
Yeah,
you
let
actually have to
me.
put in for a manual review.
I'm gonna go ahead and check right now and see if this one's been demonetized yet. Most of mine get demonetized within 10 to 15 minutes of being in.
And you know what's really hilarious about that is the amount of cursing that takes place during my VTW episodes,
Right?
and they stay monetized throughout the show. Now they might end up going. So like right now, I have not the most recent episode of VTW, but the one before is yellow. So not suitable for most advertisers. I just do a manual review, and like the rest of them, it'll go green.
Yeah, I have yet to have one that went under manual review that did not get remonetized.
My JM Truth went under manual review and stayed demonetized. That was I was like, what?
I have a few, but they were when there was someone on the show that I went particularly harsh against.
Even my Anthony Riley ones, where I've had Anthony on, where I've gone just totally ballistic on him, those were remonetized.
Space for everyone. My newest member just said Skeptic Eclipse, so I just made an eclipse with my microphone. Here you go. This is a full Skeptic eclipse right here, guys.
Well, see, there's one thing you left out of your eclipse, and that's the moon. So
The Death Star is eclipsing it. Oh, yeah. I mean, I had a good time. It's fun. For me, being involved in the dumpster fires, that's fine. As long as it's a dumpster, we know it's a dumpster fire from the beginning. I don't mind being a part of it, but...
Yeah. Just didn't expect that.
Didn't want it.
I
mean,
I knew it was a matter of time. Because that's Stephen Christ 101. You know, if you can't make a good point, just argue them down and never shut up.
Holy shit!
So shut up, did he?
So team, I actually have a bit of announcement now that I'm actually looking at my creator studio in a more properly set up manner. I just realized that I now have exactly 1,100 subscribers.
Dude, you guys deserve it, man. It's such a fun show to listen to. Maybe I'm just biased because I've been a part of the show for so long and I am military, so I can understand what y'all are talking about.
Speaking of shows, what happened to yesterday?
Oh, man, you know what? And I'm glad I see this person, Negative Exponents. Me and you need to have a conversation ASAP about the fantasy football. Me and him want to do fantasy football with people. So if you guys want to do fantasy football, that's what happened yesterday. I got my fantasy football draft times all mixed up. I thought it was Saturday, and then it turned out that it wasn't. Or I thought it was today, I thought it was Saturday, and it turned out to be Sunday. So it was Sunday night, and I couldn't, get away from that. So I just pushed that off today. So today is our normal Sunday Skeptic show. Now I want to, a couple of shout outs I want to do. Number one, my normal shout out, a writer of dinosaurs. Everybody need to be checking him out. He's awesome. Love that guy. But then we also have Schrodinger's cat. He just put out a video. He asked me to give him a shout out during the debate. But as you can tell, Schrodinger's cat, that devolved so quickly that there was really no opportunity to give you a shout out. But I'm giving it to you here. So, yeah. So shout out to him. And then also,
Can we give a shout out to Rezowski.
Yeah, Revzowski, that guy, man, he puts out some funny videos. My last live stream, we showed that one little clip, and they took all the monetization based on that one little clip that I showed. Let me read the one super chat before it goes away. John Rapp, 5 Aussie dollars. I'm just 10% of Aussie Globehead or 80% using Flurfer Mass. Good on you, mate. 10011011110. Aussie in joke. Sorry, Northerners. All right. So I think that was an inside joke shot at Aussie. So Aussie, check the bow, the incoming. Just another $10 super chat came in. Sorry, every time I read these super chats, my mic follows me. Assume flat Earth and use a plate as in their model or as their model. Hold it at eye level so you see it as flat as you can. You elevate your head. You would even see a curve on a flat Earth model. Yeah, so that is a good point. That's when you say something like You can't see the curve from a mile in the sky. Okay? Well, that's because it's pretty much fucking flat around you. Like, it's really hard to see a curve even of about 40 or 50 miles. What would it be at 1 mile? Does anybody happen to know off the top of their head? 1 mile of elevation. Well, regardless, once you go up that high, you can just see further till you hit the point where the curve curves away from you and it starts blocking everything else you can see. So, flat Earth, round Earth, it doesn't matter. At relatively low elevations, you're going to see it's going to appear to be flat, whether it is or not. Now, you'll be able to see it if it's convex. Well, yeah, you would be able to, because I guess especially a mile in the air, you would definitely be able to see.
Yeah.
Or concave, I'm sorry. I keep saying convex, concave.
Yeah, the concave, as the higher you go in elevation, the farther you should see, and the horizon should rise as you go higher. But that's not what happens.
And then two more shout outs real quick. One is Crash's RC Budget Builds and Reviews. We still need to do something about that relatively short channel name you have. We need to try to see if we can make it absolutely short, because that's a mouthful to say. But he's making some Team Skeptic figurines. So we're gonna have a little, and I think he said they're gonna be like 12 inches tall. And then we have Spark, which I'm trying to remember his name on YouTube. I know his name on Discord, but I'm trying to remember his name on YouTube. He's really doing it up, man, guys. He's making he's making a Team Skeptic dinger, which I'll pull the video up and show you guys in a second. Anybody will be able to get these, and they're able to be 3D printed. And then there's somebody, and he's also making a Team Skeptic ring, guys. A Team Skeptic ring. You can walk around, fight the flat earth with your right hand.
Wait. Is it a decoder ring?
I'll pull a picture of it. I'll pull a picture.
I only
of
want
it.
I only want it if it's an official decoder ring.
We're gonna try to get these in the bottom of Cracker Jacks, okay?
I do have to ask,
exactly
though,
my point.
Is the Team Skeptic figurine going to come with, like, the bulimia toilet as an accessory?
Fuck you, dickweed. You have to ask Crashes, and he said for $5, making 25 12-inch tall 3D printed Team Skeptics. Last of parts will print this week, will be hand painted. That's fucking awesome, man. So once all those are done, or once you're ready, we'll get some out and we'll see if people want to purchase them off you. I'm sure there'll be a few people out there that'll want, a little Team Skeptic in them.
So from Jim R, 12 inches tall? That's bigger than the actual Team Skeptic.
Probably weighs more than I actually do.
Hey, the camera adds 10 pounds.
Okay. So William Science might just have a redeeming detail about the ring. It's a Green Lantern power ring.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Oh, look at NA cock ring. Yes. No, but let me pull up the pictures of them because they are pretty cool, and I do want to give these guys.
I actually have a Green Lantern power ring.
Oh, God. I don't know if I should feel sad for you or just pity you, man. I think pity's going to win on that.
I've literally not taken that off for about 6 years.
Oh. So Ryan Reynolds, then.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so hold on. Let me bring up this real quick so the audience can see.
Yeah. What is this rumor I hear that Ryan Reynolds is about to do a Green Lantern 2?
No.
There's a rumor going around. It was actually on MSN.
Well, from what I understand from the DC is that the next Green Lantern movie is going to focus on Guy Gardner and Jon Stewart. So Hal Jordan wouldn't even be in it.
So look, that's the ring right there. That's not the Team Skeptic one. That's the Flash one. But he made that one. He's going to make a Team Skeptic one. I just have to get him my avatar. So that'd be a pretty cool little thing to have. Oh, and then let me show you what else he did.
In Blackest Night, no evil shadows. Manobot's
Did
asked
you
me,
actually-
do I know what to say when I charge my Green Lantern ring? So, yes, I do. In brightest day and darkest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power, Green Lantern's light. Or if you want to do the Orange Lantern's oath, it's mine.
All right, so look, on screen, this is what he made right here. So, well, you can't hear it, but it just went ding, and then you can push this other one, and it'll ring like a school bell. Ring. So if you get upset, somebody at work pisses you off, you just have one bing, 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 bing. That's what that one does right there. I'm sure when he gets done, it won't have a bunch of protruding wires and stuff, but absolutely, that is fucking cool, man. Look at that. That's
Awesome.
going to be a 3D printed bell for anybody that wants a dinger at work, so you can call people idiots because your subordinates are idiots, or even if your fucking boss is an idiot. Just have this
So
around to call him a fucking idiot.
When you actually get one of those, I'm no longer allowed on your shows because you tend to throw dingers.
Those will not be broken. That will not be broken, guys.
He will specifically have an entire bin full of the other ones for him to grab and toss. Come on,
Okay,
proper planning.
Then
For whoever's making that dinger, make sure that it's encased in a carbon fiber box so team has no actual access to the dinger part of it.
make sure it's encompassed in a bismuth protection so that it doesn't feel the ether. But no, there's also, let's see. Oh, and then I have another sub is making me a custom table out of a tree stump. It's so fucking cool. And then I'm going to try to either have an inlaid spot for the chrome dinger that I can replace, or I'm going to get the specs on the electronic dinger and have them mounted inside of like an inlay of the on the table.
That would be nifty. Hey, Tim, team internal chat.
Okay. Take me a second to find that.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You have the
That's fine.
difficult
That's
setup.
fine. Yeah, I have the production set up, so it's not just showing me the chat. But yeah, let me go ahead and give. Well, I'll just close this other voice thing. All right, Jared, I'm sending this to you via Discord, and then
All right,
you just shoot it to him, will you?
will do.
What? You just
What
got
are
a
you
super
doing
chat that
over there,
says
you
from
dog?
William Signs for $5. Craig can be Green Lantern and Team can be Green Arrow, the ultimate superhero odd couple.
I'd do it for you.
So, but I
William.
get a superpowered ring and you get a bow and arrow. That sounds fair.
No, I get a superpowered ring, and you get a dress. Be my superhero. A kilt.
Wait, did you just call kilts dresses?
When you wear it, yeah.
Ooh. Shots fired.
Negative exponent says someone.
2482.
Go ahead.
Oh,
yeah,
$5 for you. He
That's it.
said, I asked my wife if she wanted to watch Cream Skeptic. She slapped me. Apparently she's not into mature.
Yeah, you can't just say, do you want to watch Cream Skeptic? You have to first start by saying, would you like to play with my dinger? Then you can follow it with, hey, you want to watch some Cream Skeptic? But you gotta ask her if she wants to play with the dinger first. Then you can evolve to the Cream Skeptic question. Stop yawning.
Excuse me.
I'm gonna put
I'm
you
sorry,
on.
I'm
I'm gonna put
so
you on full
tired.
screen. I'm gonna put you on full screen. Oh shit.
You
let
got to
me-
try. You got to
scare
time it
people.
for when he does it again.
Now you've told me to stop yawning. I am...
See, you missed your chance.
I caught it.
Now
Guys,
we're not.
is he joining?
He has the link. Once he gets to the spot where he has the best reception, he will be joining. Because that's the thing, with where he lives in California, he's actually on a sizable acreage. And he doesn't have the best cell coverage in his house. He actually has to go out next to his barn to get strong enough signal to join Volt Chats Live.
Okay, so I have a few more super chats to read off. James Collins, $2.99. Y'all should do a show on cults. You know, I wouldn't mind doing that. It's really up to you guys. I more want to
Flat Earth's
just
a cult. I still say that.
yeah. I mean, it really well. I guess I don't know if it meets the definition of a cult, but I would assume that my colloquial definition of it being a cult is absolutely. I believe it absolutely is. But I don't know how much you guys would appreciate it. So if y'all want to see stuff on some cults, man, I wouldn't mind doing that. I can make fun of those people all day long. John Rapp, $5, Australian. Team Skeptic, you do look fat in that avatar. Oh, thank you. Somebody finally calling me fat. I love you, John Rapp, more than everybody else. $5 from William Stein. Oh, yeah, that was the one. Go ahead.
Sean, Mandelbrot wants to point out that Ryan Reynolds can't be doing another Green Lantern movie because, as Deadpool, he went back in time and killed himself to stop him doing the Green Lantern movie.
Yeah, but Hollywood likes to retcon, so.
Right. Xantu2482, $5. Ask my wife. Oh, that was the one I just read. Okay. Oh, now let's see how hard she slaps you for asking her to play with your dinger. Casual Spaceman, €5. No, £5. Fuck! I fucked it up. God, I've been doing good for like a month. All right. So, whose idea was it to create the religious zealot nut job, or to debate that religious zealot? Was it you or Craig's idea? Craig, you want to answer that?
It was kind of a combination of mine and his.
Way to deflect. Hold on, way to deflect that responsibility. Or is it partially my responsibility?
Wait. Was he deflecting
Oh
responsibility or blame?
not you. When I say his, I mean me and Lord Stephen Christ.
Oh, okay.
We both arranged that.
Yeah.
So in other words, it was Craig's idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So here's the thing. Craig was given the offer. Craig said yes. Craig was the convening authority. It's your fault.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I take full responsibility for.
Now, I will say that I will take responsibility for my own getting pissed off, which I shouldn't have done, and the egging him on to lose his shit so we could get some material. I will take responsibility for those two because I kept asking him questions just to go, nope, no, it isn't. Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about.
I just kept doing it
just to get him to I mean, I even asked him about his shitty tip. I was like, what did you pay, $35 and that includes the tip? I mean, I was just trying to piss him off. That was on me.
To be fair, over camera, the way he tried to present that piece of work, it was not flattering. Not just him and his physique, but just the view of it he tried to give. Just no. just no. As someone who has artwork as well, not as much as you, team, but I still have my own. There's definitely a wrong way to show some of it.
Yeah. Yep. That guy was crazy, man. That guy was fucking off his rocker. Mental. So is his fucking Lord or whatever you want to call him. I have a problem calling him Lord for Christ. So is Steve, okay? Steve's a bad influence on you, Nayland, or whatever the fuck your name is. You might want to fucking go look into laser removal or intense drinking of hydrogen peroxide to remove that tattoo off your chest.
Actually, my wife is getting laser removal of her first tattoo because she definitely regretted it. And it's going to take about 8 months of treatments every 4 or 5 weeks between. And this thing was just maybe 3 inches by 1 inch wide and was just a simple line stuff. It's not even that intricate. Him trying to get laser removal of that bitch, not only is it going to be painful as all shit, it's going to take over a year.
Yeah. No, yeah. I know that because I have a lot of friends. What? Go ahead. I know you got a.
Sure that if you get a tattoo, you don't want to get it removed.
Yeah, I have some fun. I have some that I disagree with that are on my body, which I won't ever show off. but
Yeah,
we'll have those covered up, not laser removed.
Exactly. I have one that I'm trying to find an artist that will be able to do what I want to cover it with, and I will take my sweet ass time because I want it done right.
Now I'm fucking yawning, fucking Craig.
Ha ha.
Sorry.
Hello, ladies.
Hey,
Oh,
guys.
Oh,
what's
shit!
up,
there,
guys?
there,
What's up,
there it
guys?
goes. We got the DI here.
That's weird. His audio
What?
was there.
What?
Oh, there it
Oh.
goes. Okay. How
No,
you
I'm
been,
just
man?
being quiet in the background. Pretty good. How you all been? It's been a while.
Yeah, been crazy.
Doing good.
I heard. Yeah, it's kind of a little bit of delay, but anyways, yeah. I got. I heard Coriolis and bullets and got all giggly, so I decided to come walk up the hill.
Okay, we got 10 Rons from Lucian Andres, and he says it was
All the
Greg's idea. 50 cent. I like that. Instead of 50 cent, 50 cent is 50 cent is cool with the thumbs up. Good job, 50 cent.
50 cent.
50 cent.
Hello,
50,
chat.
I like it.
Okay, so the newest person to join us today is Geistview, who is our South Pole expert. How you doing, Geist?
Oh, I'm doing fine. Doing fine.
Phrasing.
How's everything up there in the land of Texas?
Oh, it's fucking hot, man. 102 degrees today, and that was at like 5:30 or 6:30 at night. Oh, when I went to pick up my kids, so 6:30 at night, it was 102 degrees. But global warming isn't real, though, right?
Where are you at, vicinity of Texas? I used to be stationed over at Fort Bliss.
Dallas. I live in
Hello?
Dallas. Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh,
Can y'all hear
okay.
me?
No, I used to be stationed in
Yeah, we can
El
hear you.
Paso, so I hear you.
Oh, yeah. All right.
I just hear this awkward silence. And I don't know if I'm stepping on somebody or what, so I just get quiet.
Oh, no,
No.
you're fine. What'd you think about the
Okay.
clusterfuck tonight?
Predictable, well, predicted and predictable. It was going to go that route. Is we've dealt with Lord Stephen Christ's minions before, so
Yeah, you talking about you
so
and
we
Sean
got to
and
deal
all
with the
them?
actual Lord Stephen Christ. Oh yeah, we got to deal with him directly a long time ago.
Pre Looney Bin?
That's when he was really starting to go off his rocker. That's back when he was like threatening to assassinate President Barack Obama and all that stuff.
That's crazy.
Sounds like a sane guy.
Sounds like type of person I want to hang out with. Just be my best buddy.
Just out of curiosity, is it normal when I talk that there's like a 3-second silence afterwards?
You may have a delay.
Okay,
Yeah,
I just don't want to make sure I'm stepping on people.
No,
Okay.
you're not. But we're going to put that meme up there for Fight the Flat Earth. That's the sex dance. I want to shout out, man, Rider of Dinosaurs, Look, guys, I want to tell y'all something. Y'all have a chance to be a part of something. We can make this hot. You can search this on Tinder under sex dance. Whether you spell it SEKS or SEX, it doesn't matter. The memes show up. Use those memes. Make them popular. Make memes great again.
Yeah. And it's not just tenor either. It's on pretty much every like GIF keyboard that I've come across. You find it.
That's fucking awesome. Thank you, Rider of Dinosaurs.
Yeah.
You're amazing.
Since I guess I'm your guys' South Pole expert, does anybody have any simple questions I can answer? If anybody has any.
Do they arm the penguins with AKs or SAATs?
It's all laser down there. It's fucking frickin' laser beams down there.
Of course
It's the new shit.
Yeah.
You're not in the South Pole right
now,
now, are
much
you?
Does it take to?
No, I'm back in
Yeah,
California.
How many ships does it take to patrol the ice wall that surrounds the flat Earth?
Absolutely none, because nothing patrols it.
How many miles of coastline are there on the Antarctic continent?
Oh my god, I don't fucking know off the top of my head.
I do.
I didn't have to worry about that kind of shit.
No, I do
It's
because I
only
just did a
about-
video on it.
It's only about a quarter.
That's like trying to
of what
ask me
flat
how many
Earth would
steps was
deem
it.
to be.
Yeah, so that's one of the
That's
things
like
I
kind
did.
of like asking.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that's like asking me how many. It's like asking me how many steps I had to take from my living area to the galley every day.
Well, how many steps was it?
I have no fucking idea, because depending if it was a fucking a nice day or a Cat 1 storm, it would be, depending on that kind of shit.
So I was just being facetious about the question, but the answer is there's 11,165 miles of Antarctic coastline. The reason why I asked that is because if the Earth was flat,
Yeah.
and there was 90 degrees between the North Pole and the equator, and then 63 degrees between the equator and the northernmost tip of Antarctica, then that would give us a radius of about, I think it was 39,414 miles. Or I'm sorry, that would be a circumference. That'd be you get the radius and then multiply that by 2 and then multiply that by pi. But it comes out to being 39,414 miles. That's a little bit longer than 11,165 miles.
One of the things that's funny about when you're talking about flat earthers, and they say that people can't go down there and can't go visit at McMurdo in the summer breakup, there's little sailing boats that actually have families and stuff on them that travel around the world living on their boat, that pass through McMurdo. They get fuel and food and get up on the internet and do whatever they got to do. But there's people who pass through there all the goddamn time. Especially, like I said, when it's summer breakup, you'll see these little, like every couple of weeks or so, you'll see this little 26 foot long, 35 foot long, 45 foot long sailing boats that come by. And they got little families on them, like mom, dad, sister, brother, that kind of thing, and they live on those boats. They don't have any homes. That's all they do.
So, have you ever been to the geographic South Pole?
Yes. And
now,
if you guys, when they say people, nobody has traversed it, if you look on YouTube and you look for something like South Pole Traverse or Fuel Traverse, every summer after the winter season is but when the sun starts shining, there is a convoy of tractors that tow fuel bladders all the way to South Pole Station to refill the generator tanks. That's how the generator tanks at South Pole get fuel, because nothing gets flown in. Everything gets dragged by tractors on fuel bladders.
And
it takes about a month or two to get there.
Do they go there and then turn around and come back, or do they go there and then continue on? Okay, so does anybody make the traversal to the pole and then beyond to the other side?
If you want to put it like this, imagine you have a flight going from McMurdo to South Pole. And I've done this, where I have flown from McMurdo to South Pole and took care of the business and I had to take care of there, and then flew from South Pole to Tor and Troll Station, which is run by the Norwegians, directly north. Well, everything's directly north of fucking the South Pole, but literally on the other, you can pull up on a map of Troll and Tor Station that's run by the Norwegians. So you basically traverse Antarctica that way. And you also have people from different nationalities, like the Japanese, the Russians, the British, the Norwegians, the Kiwis, who all fly from different directions to get to fucking South Pole Station.
Do you know
or
why?
Edmonton, Scott is the easiest way to remember it.
Do you know why
technically, aren't
planes?
they all flying from the north?
Technically, at that point, yeah. Now, can you tell me why planes don't fly directly over the South Pole?
No, my joke, guys, since you missed it, was don't they all technically fly?
All I heard was,
north?
why do airplanes fly?
Well, okay. He must not have heard.
They all come from.
Well,
they all come from the north, but they all come from different directions.
Right. I knew what you meant. That's why it was a joke.
And I'm just what I was asking was just.
I kind of hear a little bit of roboting, so I'm kind of trying to.
Well, what excuse me. What I was asking was why are planes limited from flying? Excuse me. Over the South Pole. Excuse me, guys. there's one reason why
Like
planes are
flying
limited.
over the South Pole?
Yeah, there's one limitation
Like
they all
you're going
have.
from
think-
from Troll Station to McMurdo directly?
Yes. There's a reason why they
Are
can't
you-
make that trip.
Are you saying, okay, from Troll Station to McMurdo, technically they can fly it, but the reason why they don't is if something happens en route, they have to have enough fuel to turn around and go back to where they came from.
Do you know what that's called?
Because if you ditch in Antarctica, whenever you fly anywhere in Antarctica,
That's the right answer. That's the exact right answer,
where
but
they have
it
to
has
turn
a
and go
name.
back?
Well, no. It has a name. It's called a something rating, and it's based on. You should know this. I was about to say, yeah, you should know this, Jared. ETOPS. ETOPS rating says that like if a plane wants to fly so far, like it has to have an airfield within a certain distance, so that way it can turn around and go back. Well, if you have only one engine on a plane, that limits how far you can fly. Well, now that when you put a second engine, you increase its ETOPS rating. When you put a third engine on it, fourth engine, fifth engine, and whatnot. So the more engines you have, the further you can fly. That's why some planes do have an ETOPS rating that can take you over the South Pole, but you don't typically find those in commercial jets and whatnot. So that's why they'll fly close to the South Pole, but they don't ever fly over the South Pole. Because sometimes their Great Circle takes them pretty close to the South Pole, and they can't do it because... Go ahead.
Well, one reason, like, for example, if you're flying from from McMurdo to South Pole to Tor, or from South Pole to the British, I can't remember the fucking British name, any the other nationality sites or their field sites is, and this doesn't happen on commercial airlines when they just kind of dip in, go over to South Pole and turn around back, is you're required to carry your entire cold weather survival gear. So if you're flying, and you're sitting in a C-130 or C-17, you got your fucking Mickey Mouse boots on, you got your fucking big red fluffy jacket, you got your snow pants on, you got everything. So if that airplane has to crash or crashes in the up on the ice sheet, you can survive, because it's not like if you get out of the airplane, you survive, now you have a bigger problem because you're in the middle of fucking nowhere, and it's gonna be a long time till rescue plane can get in there. If they can even if the weather turns bad, you're just really shut out of luck, because they're not going to sacrifice a bunch of people to come get a fucking down airplane. They're going to let the weather die out, then they'll fucking come out and get you, but they're flying in storm.
Yeah, we have a $2 super chat from Yuhan Roderick. Can't stay, about to drive home. Team Twinkie. Thank you very much, Yuhan. I appreciate it, sir. He's a member of he's part of my ding force. Appreciate it, sir. All right, but yeah, yeah. The ETOPS rating is usually one of the reasons they'll say nobody can fly over the South Pole. Well, there's a reason you can't fly over the South Pole, because if you do, you're going to get in a plane. Yeah, you're going to get in a plane that can possibly reach a position where if it has engine trouble, it can't turn around and go back. And I think I missed a super chat. Let's see, Melonhead Orion. Assume flat Earth and I did. Okay, assume flat Earth and use a plate as their model. Hold it at eye level, so you can see it as flat as you can. You elevate your head, even the plate will look like it has a curve. That was it. Yeah, I did read that one. Okay, so yeah, but that's the reason why it's the ETOPS rating, and they don't ever even acknowledge that there's places that if you're leaving with a 2-engine jet, there's places you can't schedule a flight plan for. They'll tell you no, because you're outside of your ETOPS rating. You can only travel for a certain amount of time. Go ahead.
In the middle of the summer, you'll get you'll get those commercial like 737s or whatever the fuck they are landing at South Pole, but they're always coming from they're coming from New Zealand, unless they're coming from like South Africa or some places like that. But anyways, they'll where the fuck was I going with this? You'll get like these 2 engines that'll land at South Pole, but most of the time, the aircraft will land at McMurdo and refuel and then fly to South Pole. And most of the time, it's either C-130s or C-141, not C-141s, but C-17s that will fly directly to Amundsen Scott. But most of the time, everything stops at McMurdo first to get fuel and everything like that, and then they hop and then they head up to Amundsen Scott.
Yeah. Yeah. One day I want to go. My mom just got back from Argentina. I want to go down to the South Pole one time, just go visit. I hate the cold
Look
though.
at if you then you don't want to go. Is the summer the summer days can go, it's more, you walk out your t-shirt and it's like fucking the 20s and 30s, but then you get those winter nights where it's a class one a category 1 storm, and then it's fucking down there in the subs, sub 50, sub 60, with winds blowing in excess of 130 miles an hour. And if you got to go to the chow hall to get something to eat, you got to well, they call it the galley, but I'm used to calling it the chow hall. If you go to the chow hall, they have to you have a guy that sits down there in the stairwell, and he basically will call up to the fire station, which is kind of like where the central point of communications. They'll say like, okay, we have 3 people heading towards the DFAC from building number 4 or some shit like that. And then when they get to building number 4, there's another guy who will call up there and say, basically check in and say these 4 people have arrived, or whatever the number is that would then close it out. Is in Cat 1 storms, you can't see anything. You basically follow a rope line wherever you fucking go. And if you use to Cat 1 storm, there's no movement supposed to be outside of the compound or the base. So you can't fly, you can't drive down to the airfield, you can't go over to the Kiwis and hang out with them for a little bit. Everything's kind of on lockdown because it's too fucking dangerous to head out.
And let me address the super chat. $2 from Johnny Q. How can I get you on the Plot Hole podcast? Well, you know what? Just contact me. I'm not sure, Johnny Q, if you're yeah, if you're on Discord, if somebody will share my Discord link with him so he can join the Discord and reach me. If not, I believe my email address is available on my About page. So just go to the About page. You can get my email. In fact, I don't mind. It's fatherskeptic@gmail.com. Just email me there, and we'll talk. And I'd be more than happy to go on another show. I love that shit.
If anybody's listening and they actually want to get a job down there, if you look at a site called GHG Corporation, they are the primary contractors for all. Well, they were, or I think they still are. But anyways, they are still the primary contractors for working in Antarctica. So if you're, and I'm talking about work like if you're doing radio technicians, goddamn aviation, working on the airfield, administration kind of stuff. That's who does that. And I can't remember the group that does the life support, which would be the people who work in the galley, the people who work the little store, who work in the supply offices. I can't remember their corporation, but I'm sure you can probably get steered in the right direction. But GHG is the one who's the.
But guys, hold on. I don't know about how truthful what you just said is, because Mark Sargent says that only military can get jobs down there, and you know he's never lied.
Well,
guys,
it's
come on.
true, though. No, Mark Sargent's the most honest person I've ever met. Right?
The fucking. In the galley, the people who like do the food and stuff, they're like the fucking biggest hippies out there. They're kind of people who like get jobs, just kind of float around the world, kind of working here and if they get a job, they go work there for a little bit and they move and they get another job someplace else, and they live wherever they fucking live. That's the kind of people who work in the galley. They're really fucking interesting characters.
I've never understood that lifestyle though, and I know those people are like decent people. You know, really decent people. They just love the getting out and being free and doing whatever. But sometimes there is no job. There is no house. I mean,
yeah, that's
nice
that's how these guys live. They'll go down for a season. They'll work like 5-6 months, or for like say for a summer season, and then they fucking disappeared. And when it comes back around and summer kicks up again, the airplane fucking lands, and you're stuck driving the Ford F-250 to go pick up everybody. And you're like, oh, there's Chris, there's Sarah. Oh, hey, welcome back, guys. You guys back for another season? Sure. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, I'll go drop you off at the go talk to the housing, the guy who does the billeting, and get you guys your room and shit. And on breakup, the boat's going to be in, so we're going to have a whole bunch of freshies and stuff come in. So we're all going to be happy and fucking all that shit. And freshies, for everybody who's listening, freshies is all the fresh produce and stuff that comes out or comes on an airplane. But during the winter, unless you get stuff from the little greenhouse, you don't get fresh stuff. So we always call fresh stuff that comes off the airplane or off the boat, we call it freshies. So like salad and stuff like that, that stuff starts, you don't get that stuff in the wintertime.
Hey,
All
team,
right.
I'm gonna have to drop out now because I'm gonna be up with my kids in about 4 hours, and I haven't slept much in the past few days.
Yeah, we'll shut this down here in a second. I'll go ahead and let you walk out. We'll start you off actually
Yay.
with walking out. Go ahead, fight the flat Earth. I'll turn it over to you.
Well, thank you, team, for coming on my channel and I don't want to say debating because that wasn't a debate, but
Yeah.
trying to have a discussion with crazy
Dealing
ass
with the
McGee.
stupid.
Yes.
Yeah, dealing with the stupid. That's a very good way of putting it, Jared. Well done. Yeah.
And I don't mind
yeah,
doing it. I
always
don't
try
mind
having
doing
you
it.
on my channel.
Yeah, just so you know, I don't mind doing it. I love doing that shit. I just
Oh,
wish
yeah, man.
one of
Yeah, that
them.
was just
I wish
something
one
else,
of
though,
them
right?
would have the conversation. That's what I just want. I just want a flat earther or a convex earther, or concave earther, or hollow earther, or simulation earther to come forward and just have a conversation and bring something that can be backed, an assertion that can be backed. Bring the evidence to back it. You don't have to be able to even demonstrate it. You can't scream, research this. That's not bringing evidence. Telling me to research something in the middle of fucking a debate is the wrong way to teach me about that one thing. So the best thing to do is to just bring your own evidence or bring your own explanation. He could have not brought 15 points at the beginning. He could have brought 3 points and just elaborated on those 3 points instead of trying to overflow me with some
But
bullshit.
It's the typical
But I had
globe
fun.
Earth denier tactic of just shotgun, right? So,
Yeah, and I had
Yes.
fun.
Yeah.
I had fun.
But-
So
Yeah. But thank you for coming on. And I just want to announce that I've got a collaboration with Slyman Dan coming up in the next week or so.
nice.
And a collaboration with Conspiracy Cats coming up in the next week or so. But the one I'm most looking forward to is my collaboration with a Dapper Dino that is going to be my first foray into the world of young Earth creationism. If you guys haven't subscribed to Dapper Dino, seriously do it because he's incredible. Dapper, you're in the chat, so say hi. But yeah, thanks for having me on, team, and I'll speak to you tomorrow at some point, all right?
Yeah, sure. Take it easy, bro. And then I have
Catch you later, man. See you later, guys.
and then I have
Nice.
a video that I've started working on, a Gene Kim video. Are you guys familiar with Dr. Gene Kim?
No.
Nope.
Oh my
No.
God. He is he's a young Earth creationist. The video I'm working
stupid.
on, yeah, he says Dawkins proved himself wrong. Dawkins, by his statements saying that his when Dawkins made the facetious comment of saying, the only thing that will ever trump natural selection is the presence of a creator, of like conscious creation, because of the perfection of DNA. But I would argue that I don't think a human or anybody could ever create something as perfect as DNA. I think DNA takes billions of years to create and to shape to get it to the form that it's in today, of minor imperfections being perfected over time through natural selection.
I will just say that anybody who claims DNA is perfect is absolutely batshit crazy.
Well, okay. No, to the perfection that it's at right now.
Read my
to the,
mind.
Well, to the perfection that it's at right now, for us to be able to replicate a new human through the sexual intercourse of two humans of different genders, and have a baby that or an offspring that comes out. Yeah, sex. I don't get into that gender sex thing. It's okay. Y'all know it. Male, female, they get together, they sperm inside of each other, and out 9 months
Wait,
later, out
what
comes
do
a
you
little.
know?
Out
What do
9
you
months
know
later
about
comes
that?
a little cream skeptic. Okay. So
But
then,
how do you?
Well,
But
well,
how
let
do
me-
you
let me get it
know?
straight.
Were you there?
yeah,
Let me
right.
get
Were
this
you
straight.
there?
So 9 seconds after the act
9 months.
begins, we get Cream Skeptic. 9 months, we get the results of Cream Skeptic.
Yes. Oh no. Yeah. 9 seconds. That's a new record for me, bud. But 9 months later, yes, that's when the new cream skeptic hits the scene with the microphone in front of him already. But no, it's something that, like, yeah, okay, if you want to postulate that there's this God out there that can just make it so perfect. And that's the other thing. You make a good point, Sean. If God created DNA, if God's the responsible person for DNA, why do we have genetic mutation? Why do we have anything that ever results in a human being born with a deformity or a disease
No,
or a propensity to disease?
I've got a pair of examples that shows that that DNA and intelligent design is not very intelligent.
The creationist answer to what you just the creationist answer to the question you just asked, they will just say because of the fall.
Oh well, they okay. So this guy says that that humans, plants, animals, and everything that has DNA just grew out of the ground one day. Dead serious, out of the ground, sprouted. We sprouted human beings because God said
Just
so.
out of curiosity, does he? Is he a Christian biblical?
Oh yeah, no, he's
creationist
oh
kind of?
yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
so when he says that, just point to the passage in the Bible where Eve wasn't born out of the dirt or out of the ground; she came from a rib.
Well, I think what they're saying is that the first human was just brought from the ground. The first deer was brought from the ground. The first pig, the first grass, grass, yes, but
Okay.
I mean, that's just what that's his argument. I don't think he's really going into the man-woman creation story. Just the story of, he's just trying to disprove evolution. He's like, well, they'll tell you that there was, that all the different branches branch off of from the common ancestor. That's what it was. He says that Richard Dawkins says that the only thing that could replace a common ancestor is a common designer. But he was joking when he said that.
Yeah, it's just intelligent design in a different packaging.
Yeah. So I'm working on that. I'm going to get everything down so I know. It's genetics and stuff. That stuff is not like my main forte, but I don't mind learning it, because not a lot of math involved in it. More observation and building, building scientific models from observation instead of, being able to predict it like you can with physics. So, but, but anyway, I think that's where we're going to end it today, guys. Guys, since you're the last one on, I'll go ahead and let you be the first one off. Say what you got to say, and let's close this down.
Well, I got all excited there for a minute when you said getting off. But anyways, hey, hi chat.
Right.
Yeah, I got all excited and giggly when I heard him talking about Coriolis, and I just want to stop in and say hi and not get really in depth anything like that. And I know I talk a lot too much sometimes. But anyways, good to see everybody again or hear everybody again, and talk to y'all next time.
All right. Thanks, guys. Then I appreciate you coming in. Before we get to the last two people, let me go ahead and read off the last two super chats. John Rapp, $5 Australian. For $10,000, I can get a globe denier onto a resupply flight from the Edgeguards Aussie Depot. Didn't tell anyone, or don't tell anyone. Keep it on the down low. Well, I just told everyone, John Rapp. I'm so sorry. And then Slick Wild Nick says, you should, let's see. It says you should, comment on. Okay, I guess there's no space. I was like, comment on? What is comment on? You should comment on Orphan Red's newest live stream. Nick, I haven't seen that yet. That would be something. I love picking on her stupidity because she's full of it. Sometimes with the things that she says, sometimes I believe that she's full of it intentionally. So, yeah, I'll check that out, Nick. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat, and thank you for the suggestion. I'll definitely look into it. Okay, so I guess we're gonna go head over to Sean. Sean, actually, we'll hold you off to the end. We'll talk a little bit about your fundraiser we're doing.
Say he deserves to have the coup de grace on this one, and
well,
even
so
then, I will actually.
Why don't both of y'all just say your goodbyes, and y'all just let y'all do it naturally. Go ahead.
Oh, you mean like the best way possible? Just fucking, we'll do it live.
Yeah.
But for those who don't know, we have actually been doing a push. So rather than shill any of what I have going on, because honestly, there is a more important thing, and that is the fire that I lit to help Sean get out of the messed up situation that he's in so he can actually get to a place where he can be a fully employed, functioning member of society again.
Yes.
And Sean, how far have we gotten to date now?
At the last time I checked, which I haven't gotten any notifications from PayPal, we are at 6,042 and 56 cents.
What an amazing fucking community, bro. I say this every time we have to come together and help one of our own. It's absolutely amazing how well that this group comes together and puts forth just a little bit. You know, some put forth what they can. Some help just by sharing the streams. People are just there to support us while we're bullshitting and trying to keep y'all entertained while we go over what we're doing and what's going on in our lives. And we wouldn't be able to do half the shit we do if it wasn't for the strength of this community. So thank you, everybody. Just on my end, thank you. And I'm not even the one in trouble. Go ahead, Sean. I'm sorry.
It's quite literally overwhelming how this has all gone because, you know, I was ready to say, you know, fuck it all and just, you know, figure out something to do that just was live on the street and just get by that way. But Jared wanted no part of that.
So and neither did I. Neither did I. I wouldn't.
Nope, can't let that happen.
You know, Sean, I consider you a friend. You and Jared, both of you guys, I do consider you friends. There's a lot of people in the community. I say, yeah, he's a friend. He's a friend. He's a friend. Sure, he is a friend. Whatever. But when I talk about you and I talk about Jared, I honestly mean that I consider y'all actual friends at this point. We've had so much interaction. You know, Jared's heard I've told him some of the worst things I've ever had happen to me in my life. I've shared a lot of these things with him because I truly see him as a friend, just like or as family, really, just as I see you and Mom.
Oh my God.
For those of you that don't know, he's my
love it.
Sean is my adopted dad as of like 2 weeks ago, just so the awkwardness on something else could go away. So, Dad, tell Mom I love her.
Mom, Team Skeptic loves you.
But not to take away from everything, it really is. It's a great community, and I'm just so proud to be a part of it. And I'm talking about you out there who's listening in and fucking listening to us talking in. I'm talking about you. You're part of that community. Thank you guys. Every one of you, thank you. We fucking truly appreciate it, man. Straight up. All right. I guess that's it for you two guys. Let me go on camera when I do my outro. I wish I could time my camera to shut off so I could do my... Everybody says they love that outro, man. They love that outro. It's been a pleasure going on camera for you guys. And I'm talking now to the audience here, not the two people in the fucking on the panel with me, but the audience. It's been a pleasure going on camera for you guys, and I still to this day love it. Won't change it. You're going to see some of the Cream Skeptic appearances. Team Skeptic will be there at times whenever I'm getting up and I'm groggy or I'm just getting out of the shower, I'm just dirty from working outside or whatever the case may be. There will be times when you'll see Team Skeptic instead of me. But I really, really enjoy this, man. I've had a great reaction from the community as well. It was something I was a bit nervous about, to be honest with you. And you guys have all made me feel extremely comfortable. So thank you guys for everything. I guess this is where we're going to end it tonight. If you saw the debate, I'm sorry that you had to be put through that total amount of bullshit and nonsense, but thank you for watching. If you haven't seen the debate, go ahead and run over there and go give it a watch. It's at Fight the Flat Earth channel. I believe it's in the description somewhere, so you know you can find it. Other than that, I'm Team Skeptic. Let me get it set up so I can do this right. And I'm out. I got it.